That's true. We'll see now as we head on over to Vikendi. I'll keep saying it. Every single broadcast that we get a game of Vikendi, I'll keep saying it. Give me some people on trains.
Yeah,
I need to see it. It's normally I don't really care too much for these things, but for this game mode in particular, I feel like there's space enough that trains should be utilized.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see another Southern Circle, because if we are, Turkey's going to be loving that. And we've seen time and time again where it comes down towards the Dineland and Pilnek area of the map. I want to see something new gunfight, because if they can't trade better than, let's say, 2 for 1 here, if they can't open up to, let's say, 3-4, or they start to lose players like they just lost with Scooby, then it becomes really risky. If you also don't have the circle and you have a man disadvantage, it becomes very difficult to turn that around.
The likes of former like PEL players and top tier talent, but I would much rather see well orchestrated 4-5 man breaches in buildings than one guy maybe getting 2 knocks but not be able to find the flushes because he's on his own. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, lucky for Russia now, they've got. He needs to get a kill, just 1 kill. Make sure that they don't trade you for free. Yeah, there you go. There's a free kill for you.
That was a pretty simple one.
Oh, he didn't get it.
As I say that. Nope. The flush comes in at 1 HP.
Yeah, that is a rough thing. In those kind of situations where you get split off, you just need to trade. You need to make sure your life is worth something. And right there, you're worthless. For a moment. Yeah. It kind of looks like Russia has a lot of presence, right, with the fact that they're so far along the coast. But realistically, they have such a thin sliver of land, and they're locked on the western side of the main road. So they actually really don't have much control at all. And if Turkey can pin them there, if they can take control of the sawmill area, take control of the train station, find a way in before Turkey fully joins up, then maybe there's an opportunity here for Russia to break the map control that Turkey has and maybe to win this game.
Let's see. Deep gets 1. It's all tied. I feel like they've been better at keeping players alive than what we've seen a lot in the past of the tournament so far.
Yeah, Nations Round has been sort of typified by if you get knocked, you're dead. And both of these teams, I think, possess some unique survivability that I don't think we've seen from anyone, as you said. It kind of feels like they don't put themselves in that position where they're running across an open field, where they're in a position where if they do get knocked, it's an insta flush. At least until the later game when it becomes a bit more desperation mode. I think we'll see a lot of knocks right now, and maybe Russia can abuse that. But realistically, there's not really anyone in a position where they can get flushed easily. Didn't quite get the knock. He had a sniper rifle, so I don't know why I didn't use that.
I like how Russia is wrapping around. Goes to show train stations, very important. You need them. It's they're again. We talked about this, and maybe that's kind of coming in as a surprise for. I'd be surprised if Turkey gets surprised by anything at this point in the tournament, but they're really, really quick at responding to these circles, and I feel like that's something Turkey hasn't really been up against. Previously.
Sure. And it definitely almost feels like Russia's preempting. They're saying, what shift would be bad? Oh, if it goes east of that road. So how do we get control of a way to get east of the road? Oh, we just wrap on the north. So by putting themselves in that position where they're basically doing what they need to do in a circle before they have to. Yeah. And you compare that to, I think, a team sort of had an impact because this area is relatively fat. There are these ridges here or there, but a lot of people can sort of see all the way around the circle, bar into those little ridges. So, the split's not as bad as it looks. And we see here, deep on this western side, could really stop anyone from running up on the eastern team. Yes, I still think I would prefer to be in Turkey's position, having, one big group. But let's say this circle now comes north, or this circle now goes west. There's an opportunity, really, where Russia can pincer them and lock them in this little trench and just win the game that way.
They're trying to hold off. It's all going to come down to this next circle. I know I've said it before, but this time around, I feel like it might actually be the case.
And that's rough for Russia right here because they've got that big group on the west, which I think has a couple cards, but it's a lot more difficult for them to get in now because Turkey's a lovely little shot through the slats there by Sixmo. But it becomes very difficult now for them to push this. Turkey has these sort of the trenches. I think it's a riverbed. That you see Sixmo is like right on the edge of, and they're really a strong position because you can get knocked like this, but how do you flush the kill? You know, someone just from Turkey just runs over, gets the res, and then you go again. And I think that's why now these trenches are going to be so influential for Turkey. And
yeah,
unless Russia can find a way to breach one of the trenches early on, the longer this game goes on, the more likely I think Turkey are going to win this.
I think it also goes to show, why they're playing the way they are, Turkey, right now. They are playing so many people on the southeast side, so many people straight down towards the south. They're expecting Russia to try and wrap around. Like, they're not expecting Russia to want to take this fight head on next circle. So I like the way that that Turkey is now. One thing is, yes, they saw earlier that, okay, these guys react quickly. We need to be ready for it. And they're like really not from game to game or day to day. They're reacting from circle to circle. And I think that's really impressive. Yeah,
but you can't be affording to lose players like that. Apocalypse, I'm not exactly sure what he was doing, but he ran out of the trench for a second, immediately gets shut down. And yeah, I think Russia's win condition now is getting maybe a 4 or 5 man advantage before they try and crash. Because if it's fairly even, they're going to lose a lot of players as they try to get close. And then it becomes a big advantageous fight for Turkey. So if they can maybe get 5 before they have to get in this trench, then I'll be liking Russia's position. But until then, Turkey are definitely in the ascendancy.
Let's see. Batulin finds 1. It's looking for more. Normally it's like, oh, we got a knock, let's push. Here it's like, oh, we got 6 knocks, let's push. I don't know what it's going to take. Yes, the circle could shift south, then that would be the obviously the go-to call. Then they're going to be forced to move. But I kind of feel like I want to see Turkey try and make a play. Russia, trying to make a play before the circle is potentially forcing them to, because you feel like when the circle is forcing them to, then your opponent's also going to be ready for it. Oh my God, 6-mo. That's
he said that shot like 3 or 4 times now. It's a lovely little. But I'm a little bit nervous for this northeastern group of Russian players. They're stuck in that compound, and I think they have a few cars, but never mind. Wow. Never mind. They'll just get the circle instead. That's
fortunate.
I still really like the position Turkey's in, but if Russia can now set up enough players in that northeastern compound, there's an opportunity where, one more nice shift and suddenly it's all their game.
What can Russia do to separate these two teams? Because you have a big chunk of players from Russia
to rotate the players around. Then they can get in a position where, yes, they don't necessarily have the best position, but if they can start to get knocks like this, then they can use them to really just overwhelm towards the end of the game. When if they can just get a big enough man advantage, it don't really matter that the position is not amazing.
See Russia able to get more and more knocks, but it's going to be I still feel like it's going to come down to the final brawl, and we've been postponing for so long. It's already phase 6. There's going to be a final push and fight in the middle at some point, and if this circle doesn't jump to either east or west side, then I feel like the players might just get too impatient and run into each other's faces regardless.
I don't think we'll necessarily see a big fight this circle. I think it'll be the next one, but I think right now we're setting the scene for it. Can one team get enough kills that they really come in with the driving seat with a big advantage? If it's 27v27, then realistically the fight is going to get determined by the circle. So one team needs to get proactive, needs to find a group that they can shut down. But realistically, I think it's Turkey. If they can shut down enough players on this northwest, make sure they're getting the flushes, then they're going to be in a really good spot, I think, for late game.
Well, it's a kind of a halfway split circle diagonally. This whole trench run is gonna. I really want the game to end there, just because it's gonna force both teams to be really, really creative in how they play. Because most areas and positions in PUBG are made for squads, so no compound is made for 32 players. And also, given how few players both teams have lost so far. It goes kind of to show how much is on the line here. Had they not given a crap, they would have pushed 5 circles ago.
Yeah, I feel like if this was 3-0 Turkey, then Russia might have gone for a bit more of a aggressive play and maybe try and crash it. But the fact that it's 2-1, the fact that they know that they can play defensively, you go back to
wow.
As shifts go, that's quite a nice one for Turkey. And now they're also starting to pick off those individual players, which means that not only do they have the positioning, they also have the man advantage, and realistically, it's their game to lose now.
Well, Russia had some good circles last game, and I feel like seeing that circle is going to be I guess we had to go eventually, and now you see the spam coming in. These guys are actually somewhat bundled up. If you get 1 or 2 good nades in there could be a lot of knocks, but the same thing is going the other way. Unfortunately, I don't think the nades are flying quite far enough in that direction. Russia needs to push, and they need to push now, and you can see them all crashing forward.
And this is where Russia just needs a Zerg swarm. They need to go as a big group here and take over the northern trench, because if Turkey's allowed to set up and pick off players one by one, as sort of is happening right now, then it gets to the point where the man advantage would be so much in one favor. He's going to go down. I survived. Well, what a nade by Danamon. That's exactly what they need. An opportunity here where they can push maybe into the trench, get down this little northern group, but the counter nades are coming into Schofield with the initial knock. And realistically, I think now it's just all about the utility. Can Turkey put enough nades on this hilltop to shut down Russia?
Send it forward. I like
It's still alive.
You gotta send it in. You gotta send it in. These three guys that you're saying, somehow they're on their feet. If you can underhand jump throw a nade over, you're literally getting 8 kills with 1 nade in that smoke.
And Turkey's starting to put people on the eastern hill as well, which will get a really nice enfilade on this Russian group. They only have cover from the south. So as soon as Kalandor gets a high ground position, look, he can start to shut them down. He gets the initial knock onto one. Should get the first door pretty easy, but like once they run a little bit further north, all that Russian cover is gone. There's so many players in one spot right now.
Yeah, it's cluster.
Yeah, no, I think now we're going to see players like Kalandor. Yeah, if he can get Batany down, there we go. That's perfect. Now he has free reign to shoot them in the back, free reign to shoot the entire Russian team on this ridge. And as long as Turkey, I think, has some utility, realistically, there's no way out for Russia.
I mean, all just 1 nade. 1 nade could literally end the game right now. 1 nade could take out something along the lines of 7 or 8 players. It's absurd.
What a nade that is.
How this is going down.
What a nade.
Right on the money. Chrissy finds one to the face. Molotovs and everything's being thrown forward. To look at this. You have the M249 on the hilltop here. That is the exact weapon you want to have when you're looking into the face of death. There's Russian blood all over the place, and all the guys fall apart. Turkey take home the win, making it a 3-1